Hey everyone, this is Waylon, and I'm coming to you live from Halifax, Nova Scotia, where I've been visiting my mom and just having a great old time. Sorry the light's so bad. But I wanted to talk, just briefly about things my mom has taught me. And I think it's just been a great reminder being here, being around my mom, seeing how many things she does that I do. And it's comforting, there's all these weird things I do in my life. And sometimes I feel bad about them. Like, why do I do these things? And then I see my mom do the same thing or even more so. And there's that moment of humor and tenderness and appreciation and gratitude for the kind of parenting I had. So my name's Waylon. I was brought up by a single mom, my mom, Linda, very poor. She was a school teacher, never made more than, I think, $12,000 a year. And, we basically lost our house when I was a kid, because we couldn't make the dreaded balloon payment. I remember as a kid, the balloon payment was this sort of like lead balloon visual. But we biked everywhere, we walked everywhere. We had a car sometimes, but not usually. We never went to fast food places. That was considered a luxury. We didn't have enough money for that. We would eat like rice and popcorn when times were tight. And since I've been here, I've been taking her out and like buying her a sweater and whatever little things. Obviously there's a endless vast amount that we all owe our parents if they were kind parents and good parents. Not perfect parents, but kind and good parents. And I was lucky enough to have one. And so none of that is a humble brag. We owe our good parents infinite, basically. They made us and raised us and taught us. And I think the things that she taught me or gave me that I most appreciate are, she gets really worked up around town. She'll say, if I were the Queen of Halifax. And what follows is always what we call in Buddhism, like Enlightened Society, some notion that, maybe developers shouldn't be tearing down beautiful buildings and putting up these ugly office buildings. If they are going to tear beautiful old buildings down, they should be building affordable housing, what's needed, like community-driven development. But my point here is not one specific complaint or desire that she has, but that she's constantly looking around her and seeing what the world and what the society could be and what it should be for us. Accessible, healthy food, solutions that have been tried in many municipalities to house our houseless in a way that works for them, with services that support any issues they may be having. She's constantly looking at things with care. And I think, I've written before on Elephant Journal that it's really annoying to me how much I care about everything. And again, that's not meant as a humble brag. There's so many people who care far more than me, far deeper, who know more, who are doing more. But I do go through this life constantly caring and wanting to help and noticing and looking out. And I think a lot of people in my life who I've run into, good people, are usually often looking in, and not in a deeply philosophical way. It's more this, we've been entranced by this TV, Netflix, whatever. You can blame media, but it's really kind of on us too. We create the media, we support the media, we click on the clicky headlines. So there's this notion of, what about me? What about me? What about me? And I think my mom has really taught me, how can I be of service? And in service, there is some sense of joy. I also, number two, I've really noticed, just to contradict kind of what I just said, in a pleasant, lovely way, that she is very chatty. She'll talk to anybody, anywhere. My father's like this too. I didn't grow up with my father, but I think somehow I got some of that. So she loves people and she loves connections, and she's not shy in that way. I think, frankly, I'm more shy as a white male. I think I should be. I should hold back a little bit. But she she'll just engage anyone in conversation. And before you know it, she's telling endless stories about, her life or the world, or she's listening to them and they're bonding. I mean, so many people write her handwritten letters. It's really incredible to see her kind of at work. And so, for many years, I think I was a little embarrassed by it, or when I was even younger, I was bored by it. I was impatient. Now I look at it, I'm like, wow, she creates the thread of community wherever she goes. And it can be a bit much for those of us who are more reserved. I'm not reserved, but I am sort of polite or considerate about people's time, overly so. And she's really not. She'll just jump in and people react. People love her. So it's kind of cool to see. I think number three, and it's something, I've already talked about, but she um, is sort of a nature girl. She lives in a city, in an apartment building, and she's more devoted to her birds and to her garden, and she'll rescue little trees that are growing up in lawns and then plant them and grow the trees up and give the trees away to people. And she'll plant a tree for every single, or give away a tree for every single flight she's ever made. She's a real nature girl, and she walks everywhere. It's very healthy in that way. And I think that's another thing she just gave me, is this real connection that is resilient, that is kind of invincible with nature, this longing and enthusiasm for nature. And, I'm always trying to buy her stuff, and I am succeeding. Most of it is eco, local, secondhand, vintage. We just got her a vintage belt today. But I think the cool thing about her is she's constantly like, I don't need this. I don't want that. I'm content. Yeah. So she doesn't need stuff. She doesn't want stuff. She actually is, I think a lot of us, including myself for sure, are kind of searching for happiness, or falling into wanting happiness that is out there. And, there are things out there that I do want. Like, I do want to have a loving family and loving, match and relationship. And that is out there. But on some level, it's, as people have reminded me, and Buddha Dharma reminds me, the Buddhism that I grew up with her, we have to make friends with this Maitri fully before we can, be available. And before I could be a good partner or a good father, I would have to make friends with my own impatience, my own, I'm a very speedy person. So Buddhism is incredibly helpful for my speediness. And she doesn't have that. She's really kind of the opposite. She can be speedy, she can be decisive, but she's not in a rush. She's almost like a farmer, like very present, she's doing what she's doing, or a crafts person. So those are three things I think, I've got from my mom, and that I still need to further learn, and that I appreciate from my mom. And I think, visiting my mom these 20 days, that's something I wanted to honor and respect, and kind of mark those things that I respect. So the light's great on Instagram. Thank you for your comments. I hope everyone is well and safe. The light is awful on YouTube, shockingly. Don't know why, but apologies to that. You can subscribe on our YouTube channel. You can listen to our podcast, Elephant Journal, Waylon Lewis. And if you're on Instagram, please comment. Please, click notifications so you get our live videos. I'm doing interviews, conversations with amazing people every week. We got a Buddhist fellow coming up who's amazing. We just constantly just really honored, a farmer is coming up. The people I get to speak with and share with you. So click the top for notifications, subscribe, give it a comment or a like, and you're more likely to see it in the future. If you'd like Elephant Journal and our Mindful Life, our articles, all that to be in your life. Thank you, everyone, and big love to everyone, especially those who have commented, liked, supported in one way. Thank you so much.